The morning started like any other Saturday. I was in my kitchen, coffee in hand, planning a lazy day of catching up on chores and maybe washing my car. That's when I heard it, the unmistakable rumble of diesel engines, not one, but multiple, echoing through my quiet suburban street. I walked to the window and felt my blood pressure spike instantly. 3 massive pickup trucks, 2 Ford F-350s and a Dodge Ram, were backing into my driveway. Not near it, not beside it, into it, and the woman directing them with exaggerated hand gestures like she was landing a Boeing 747 was none other than Patricia Holbrook, the HOA president and the neighborhood's self-appointed queen. I threw open my front door and rushed outside. "Patricia, what the hell are you doing?" She turned toward me with that same condescending smile I'd seen at every HOA meeting for the past 2 years. Her perfectly styled blonde hair didn't move an inch in the morning breeze, and her pastel pink blazer looked like it cost more than my monthly mortgage payment. "Oh, good morning, Daniel," she said in that syrupy sweet voice that made my skin crawl. "I'm just utilizing some available space for the HOA's landscaping project. We have several contractors coming in this week, and we need somewhere to store their vehicles." "Available space," I repeated, my voice rising. "This is my property, my garage." The truck drivers had already parked and were climbing out of their cabs, looking uncomfortable as they sensed attention. Patricia waved a hand dismissively. "According to HOA bylaws, Section 7, Paragraph 4, the board has the authority to utilize homeowner facilities for community improvement projects when public spaces are insufficient." "That's insane. That's not what that means." I could feel my face getting hot. "You can't just park in my garage without permission." "I sent an email last night," she said, checking her phone. "And according to the bylaws, 24-hour notice is sufficient for emergency community needs." "I never got any email, and this isn't an emergency." I looked at the trucks now occupying my entire driveway and blocking my garage. "I need to get my car out. I have errands to run." Patricia's smile tightened. "Well, Daniel, that sounds like a personal problem. These trucks will be here for approximately 1 week while we coordinate the installation of new landscaping along Oakwood Drive. I suggest you plan accordingly." 1 week. 1 week. "You need to move these trucks right now," I said, trying to keep my voice steady, "or I'm calling the police." She laughed, actually laughed, like I'd told a hilarious joke. "The police? For an HOA matter? They'll tell you exactly what I'm telling you. This is well within my authority as president. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a meeting with a landscaping contractor." She turned to walk away, her designer heels clicking on my concrete driveway like she owned the place. That's when I noticed something that made my jaw drop. The garage door, my garage door, was wide open, and inside I could see that they hadn't just blocked the entrance. They'd actually parked the 3rd truck inside my garage, squeezing it in next to my car, my workbench, and my storage shelves. "You've got to be kidding me," I muttered, storming toward the garage. Sure enough, the massive Dodge Ram was sitting there, its front bumper inches from my sedan. There was barely room to walk. My toolbox had been shoved aside, and I could see fresh scratches on my garage floor from where they'd maneuvered the truck in. Patricia called out from behind me. The contractors needed a secure location for their equipment and supplies. Your garage was the most logical choice. I spun around. "How did you even get in here? This door was closed and locked." She held up a small remote. "HOA Master Garage Opener. Every home in this subdivision is equipped with the same system for emergency access. It's in your contract." The rage bubbling inside me was reaching a boiling point, but something in my brain clicked. She wanted me to lose my temper. She wanted me to do something she could report to the HOA board, something she could use to fine me or make my life even more miserable. Instead, I smiled. "You know what, Patricia? You're absolutely right." Her eyebrows shot up, clearly not expecting that response. What?" "You're right. This is your truck now. Well, technically the HOA's truck. In my garage. On my property." I walked calmly to the garage door control panel mounted on the wall. "What are you doing?" Patricia's voice had lost its confident edge. "Oh, just making sure this equipment is secure, like you said." I pressed the button, and the garage door began its slow descent with a mechanical whir. Daniel, stop that right now. Can't do that, Patricia. You said these trucks need to be in a secure location for a week, and nothing's more secure than a locked garage. The door touched the ground with a solid thunk. Patricia's face had gone from pale pink to deep red. You open that door this instant. Sorry, can't do that. See, once you park your vehicles on my private property without a formal agreement, they became my responsibility. And as a responsible property owner, I need to ensure they are properly secured. I pulled out my phone. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to make a call. Who are you calling? She looked genuinely worried now. The sheriff's department, to report 3 vehicles illegally parked and trespassing on my private property. You wouldn't dare. I hit the call button. Hi. Yes, I'd like to report a trespassing situation at 2847 Maple Grove Drive. Patricia lunged for my phone, but I stepped back. Her perfectly composed demeanor had completely shattered. Hang up right now. The dispatcher was asking for details, and I calmly explained the situation. 3 trucks parked without permission, one inside my locked garage, HOA president claiming authority she didn't have. Officers will be there within 20 minutes, the dispatcher said. Daniel, you're making a huge mistake, Patricia hissed. The HOA will fine you for this. We'll put a lien on your house. For securing my own garage? I don't think so. I crossed my arms. But hey, you're welcome to explain your interpretation of HOA bylaws to the sheriff. I'm sure they'll find it fascinating. The next 20 minutes were beautiful. Patricia made frantic phone calls to other board members, her lawyer, and anyone else she could think of. The truck drivers stood around awkwardly, clearly wishing they were anywhere else. Neighbors started coming out of their houses, drawn by the commotion. When the sheriff's deputy arrived, a no-nonsense woman named Deputy Martinez, Patricia immediately launched into her explanation about HOA authority and community needs. Deputy Martinez listened patiently, then turned to me. Sir, did you give permission for these vehicles to be on your property? Absolutely not. Did you receive proper legal notice? She claimed she sent an email at 11 p.m. last night about parking trucks in my garage for a week. Deputy Martinez looked at Patricia. That's not proper notice, and an HOA doesn't have authority to commandeer private property without the owner's consent, regardless of what your bylaws say. Those bylaws can't supersede property law. Patricia's face went white. But Section 7, Paragraph 4. I don't care if it's Section 747, Paragraph Infinity, Deputy Martinez said. These vehicles are illegally parked. You need to remove them immediately, or they'll be towed at the HOA's expense. The one in the garage is locked in, Patricia said desperately. Deputy Martinez turned to me. So, I held up the garage door remote, happy to open it as soon as Ms. Holbrook apologizes for trespassing and agrees in writing that the HOA will never pull a stunt like this again. Daniel, be reasonable. I am being reasonable. You parked 3 trucks on my property without permission, scratched my garage floor, moved my belongings, and told me I'd have to deal with it for a week. So here's the deal. Apologize, put it in writing, and I'll open the garage. Otherwise, that truck can stay there until your lawyer gets a court order, which will take a lot longer than a week. Patricia looked at Deputy Martinez, who just shrugged. It's his property, his call. I watched Patricia's face cycle through about 15 different emotions. Anger, disbelief, indignation, and finally, defeat. Fine, she said through gritted teeth. I apologize for the inconvenience, and I'll send you a written statement. Witnessed by Deputy Martinez, I added. Patricia's eye twitched, but she nodded. Deputy Martinez pulled out her notepad, and Patricia scrawled out a quick statement promising that the HOA would not use my property without explicit written permission in the future. I hit the garage door button, and as it rolled up, the truck driver practically ran to his vehicle. Within 10 minutes, all 3 trucks were gone, leaving only tire marks in Patricia's wounded pride. As Deputy Martinez was leaving, she paused. That was pretty clever, sir. But maybe next time, just call us first. Where's the fun in that? I grinned. She laughed and headed to her patrol car. Patricia stood in my driveway, her perfect composure completely destroyed. Her hair was actually messed up now, and her blazer had a wrinkle. This isn't over, Daniel. You're right, I said, because I'm bringing this up at the next HOA meeting. I think everyone should know how their president interprets community improvement. She stumped away without another word. My neighbor, Bill, walked over from across the street, shaking his head with a huge smile. Man, I wish I'd recorded that. That was better than anything on TV. It'll be legendary at the next HOA meeting, I said. And it was. But that's another story. For now, I had my garage back, my driveway clear, and the satisfaction of knowing that Patricia Holbrook had learned a valuable lesson. Just because you're HOA president doesn't mean you can park wherever you want. Especially not in my garage.